adolescence is the most intensive, potentially profitable period of growth in a man's life. And as I was saying last time, when are we going to get disciplined? When are we going to start self-discipline? Do we wait whenever it's time, whenever we have kids, whenever they're teenagers? No, it's implanted in those teenage years. That's when it's got to happen. The boy's increase in physical virility and accompanying emotions produce a powerful raw force that requires a corresponding increase in moral strength that will enable him to harness, discipline, and direct this newly emergent virility. Boy, and I could just hear the feminists coming now. Caveman! What's all this raw force and virility talk about? Give him some Ritalin or something. Calm him down. No. This is real, genuine manhood. This is what we're supposed to be. So let's not push it too far in the other direction. This is the real manhood that's sleeping today, or that's what? Playing around. Perpetual juveniles. Those in charge of his formation, the father, the foremost, must adopt an attitude of him as an apprenticeship and initiate to manhood. Treat the youngster like a man and expect him to act like a man. Okay? Doesn't mean that he's got his independence yet, but we're talking about expectations. Giving them greater responsibilities. Learning accountability. Giving them important things to do. Depending upon them. At the time of adolescence, it is the father who should become the primary influence in the boy's life. Not the sports heroes. Not the movie stars. The father. The father by example and word. Example and word. Must challenge his son to manhood. He must begin to look upon his son as a man and as such expect him to act like a man. The father should be the primary source of encouragement to his son, viewing him as one who is joining the ranks, flesh of his flesh, who will carry on the battle after him. It is time for the father to become the mentor to his son, to convey the cause and the vision of his own manhood and seek to discern and nourish those of his son. The father therefore must have a vision and have a cause that he has made his own. And so what do our sons see as our cause and vision? What's the focus of our life? Is it making money? Is it sports? Is it hunting and fishing? Or is it the defending and upholding of the Holy Roman Catholic Church, which we said earlier was supposed to be the purpose that we're here for. The development of a man-to-man relationship between father and son entails acquiring a deeper understanding of each other as men. That is, as individuals rather than the other half of a father-son relationship. So, those of us especially with children of different ages in our homes. If I have a 20-year-old down to a 4-year-old, I got to be able to shift gears. I'll treat my 4-year-old Ben as in one way, but a 15-year-old I'll address in a different way. We'll start to have a shifting of how we see each other. The adolescent must begin to realize his father as a mere mortal, rather than the omnipotent, omniscient figure of childhood. So they start to see our faults. Whereas as a 4-year-old, they might see us as the image of God, that God puts us there in a family to stand in His place. But neither should that realization detract from the father's position of authority. So it doesn't mean that the father loses authority just because the son starts to see that. Instead, it should serve to reinforce his authority by grounding it in the divine commission of Christ, rather than in human competency of the father. So instead of this biological or forceful relationship, now there is the divine mandate of God placing us in authority over that family, and the son still recognizing that and respecting it. The development of this man-to-man relationship requires the severing of the mother's apron strings. For such maternal ribbons lead as they do back to a sanctuary where the call of manhood is mercifully muted, may tempt the boy to retreat from the steep road of manly self-sufficiency he must travel. And how often do we see that happen? Things get a little rough for the kid. So there comes mom. Oh, poor baby. Poor thing. No, mom. Shh. Move off to the side. Let him learn the lessons. Let him go through the trials of becoming a man.